Thanks for watching. You decide. I'm so glad you are watching, and we are here to give you the best of analysis. We're here to give you facts, and we want to give you the latest information concerning what is going on the surface of the earth right now. It is my duty to thank Mark from Milan last week, who stepped into the shoes and did a wonderful show. Mark, thank you very much, and so I welcome you to this program, Mark Godwin.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shegun. Good morning, viewers. It's another beautiful day here. Thank you for joining us again.
We have our in-house researcher, Nati Yakwas, in the studio. Nati, welcome to the program.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you for having me.
Of course, we have Mazi Gozinazu, right in the middle of England. Mazi, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Dr. Johnson and all our viewers. Well, I am not only in the middle of England, I am on the east of England, which means we are the East people.
The Peterborough without the S. Anytime I came to Peterborough, they say it's not Petersburg, but Peterborough. Well, whether S or not, you're welcome to the program.
It's Peterborough.
Oh, it's Peterborough.
Not
Okay,
Petersburg.
okay.
Not Petersburg.
Okay, from Peterborough.
It's Peterborough.
Okay. Oh, so nice to see you guys. I've missed you all. Now we need to say this one. Was it a Freedom Day on Monday? Because the Boris Johnson government said they will be giving us freedom, but at the end of the day, the freedom was a bit with some caveats. You may not use the face mask, and you may still try and social distance. Nat, please bring us up to date. What kind of freedom did we get? Some people said it was freedom for 5 hours, because as from September, your job passport must be shown. Nat.
So everybody was looking forward to July 19. That was Monday, and people started drinking midnight of Sunday, waiting for the day to break. We really cannot be talking of any freedom at the moment. Is it because there is still a lot of confusion, mix up, mismessaging? The Prime Minister is saying one thing, CitiCan is saying another thing, and we don't know. We don't really know what is happening, and we are hearing of another lockdown likely coming up in August 2021. So we really not sure whether there has been any freedom. Maybe it's a case of the cup is half full and half empty, and we're also hearing a likely surge coming up in the coronavirus thing, the issue of Delta variants coming and spreading all over the place. And another immediate challenge we have is this issue of illegal migrants coming from France. And the UK government is going to use £54 million taxpayers' money to give the French government to see if they can reduce the number of illegal immigrants coming into the UK.
Yeah, thank you. Godson, do you think we can afford another lockdown? Do you think the people will accept or they will rebel?
Well, Doc, I think one thing we have to understand is that governance is a continuum, or government is a continuum, which means that you cannot stop the art of governance irrespective of whatever be the challenge. Even in the art of war, government continue to exist and perform their responsibility. I believe that what Boris Johnson and his team of cabinet ministers are trying to look into, in as much as they don't want an absolutely blackout of the entire society and the economy, is to try every means to see how they can open up the social space and open up the economic space, so people can re-engage their lives. Like they said, life, they said that we have to move on with life with this new Freedom Day, move on with life. And we all have to find a way we can move on with our lives in as much as the challenge continue to face. The most important thing, I believe, in order to avoid any other sudden or shocking lockdown, is for government to, by now, would have put in some strategic measures in terms of infrastructures that will be able to contain the resurgence of the Delta variants, wherever it is. And if government has spent so much money to vaccinate almost 40 million people on the 2-dose jab, I think there is need for government to reassess the value of that expenditure and the impact it has on the society and the reactive effect of it if the Delta variant is not, the jabs are not able to subdue the Delta variant. Because I think for me, this is life coming back alive again.
Will you support vaccine passport or not?
Well, I will support anything that will make that. I will support any strong measure such as that to contain, because the fact is that human beings are very, very difficult to manage, and because of the evolving situation in the global society with regards to conspiracy, media competition, which media gives the news better, and some of the mediums, whether social media or electronic media or print media, are devising a very evil strategy to hypnotize the minds of people on negative informations. And they say information either informs you or deforms you. And I think some of these informations are deforming the human nature and making people begin to see themselves as a human threat to themselves. And this is what we need to avoid. And as a government, they need to understand where are the point of strength of these scientists, because so the scientists are causing a huge confusion. We don't know if the scientists are trying to manipulate the political elements within the society to control their mind in order to believe in what they give to them as a statistics or as a research finding, or the political class or the political leaders in the world have to also be able to begin to advance in their philosophy of leadership, in their philosophy of gathering information and being able to know which is right for the people. Okay. And which is not right.
Let's see how it plays out in the continent. Mark, how is it playing out? It appears there's confusion in England here. Well, many people have said things the Prime Minister did not get it right. He should isolate. He should not isolate because he's in touch with Sajid Jammeh, who had proved positive. So then finally he said, okay, I will isolate. So they said a lot of confusion, and they gave us a Freedom Day. They took it back. So how is it playing out in the continent?
Yes, Doc, thank you. Doc, these are perilous times. Yes, you had your Freedom Day on Monday, but that was a very interesting Freedom Day. The Freedom Day when there were more spikes and more cases of COVID. Funny enough, also, the Prime Minister had to isolate himself. The Health Minister has talked about your wearing the mask indoors and socially distancing yourself is no longer mandatory. But the situation is not looking good. Around the world, in Western Europe also, we are having spike in the Delta variant. France, Spain, Italy, all reporting cases of Delta variant. And we are also just coming out too. And you have this rebound again. So we are caught up. People want to have their freedom, actually. People want to feel free to move around. But in a situation where infection rate is rising and the government is expecting more cases, even to reach up to 100,000 by August, I think considering locking up again might be a solution. So,
Mark, shall we just accept living with COVID? We don't have a choice. We just have to live with COVID. Is that what we should just agree on?
that's it, Doc. That's it. Humanity has to, like we live with AIDS, HIV, we live with cholera and all these bacteria. Yes, I think that's what it has come to. But the government of the world are finding it hard to face that reality, you know. So this concurrent locking up and keeping people indoors, they think it will be the solution. But
Because many industries will pack up. The hospitality industry they will pack up. The entertainment industry will pack up. If we lock down again, the government does not have the money. Why don't we just go ahead with this vaccine passport?
Exactly, it's packing up. It's already packing up. We here in Italy, even though the south of Italy, where we have the tourism business going on, it's not like it used to be. Also, the Alpine, the north of Italy, where you have these Alpine camps and resorts, it's packed up because nobody wants to come, even when there are openings. So the government really needs to look into what you just said, Doc. Considering working it out with people still being themselves, doing their thing, and having a check on their health, because it's not obviously working. Locking us up every time, bringing us out again, lock us up again, bringing us out. It doesn't seem to be the solution. The spikes are still the COVID is still moving on. Thank you, Doc.
I think we just have to move on. Thank you very much. We just have to move on, and the government should learn how to move on. How to cope with COVID should be the next thing. I mean, people want to travel, they want to go everywhere, but they are stuck. So we just have to. The government must start thinking: how do we cope with COVID and go on with our lives? Nat, as if the flu was not enough, now we have the flood. Germany has lost about 160 people, if not more. Belgium has lost a number of people. Even in England, we've lost. What's going on with the flood? We're from the flu to the flood. What's going on?
Well, we've been told this one is due to climate change and the level of the amount the Arctic ice is melting is more than what the scientists had forecasted. And then there was this rainfall in Germany, between Germany and Belgium. Maybe 1 month rainfall came down in some few hours. And all efforts to manage the flood proved very abortive. But at the end of the day, my understanding is if we agree it's climate change, when you misuse the environment will fight back, and this is some of the things we're experiencing. Our lifestyle as humanity has not really been conformity with the laws of nature, and nature is dynamic. It will fight back. And so the leaders of governments, west, east, north, south, will have to rethink the strategies to fight this climate issue. It's not a political affair. Donald Trump made it political, but it is not. It's something everybody is saying. It's something that's affecting everybody. Like in Germany, with all their technology, precision, doing things, the flood did not understand that language. The flood had its way, and here we are. And even in the southeast, southwest London of UK, these challenges are there.
Yeah, I was watching a lady being interviewed in Germany, and they said, "What's your summation of everything going on?" She just said it in 3 words: nature is angry. Full stop. Mazi, nature is angry. Is that it? And there's nothing we can do?
Well, nature could be, the lady could be right that nature is angry to what is happening to the environment, some of which may be as a result of man mismanage of part of the entire earth space over the generations. Moreover, we all know that according to what the Bible said, he said the earth is mine and the fullness thereof. The earth belongs to the Creator, and we all are believers of the invisible, immortal Creator, whom we cannot see, but we are trying to understand. And I believe that the greatest problem is that man, over the years, has been trying to dig into the earth to find where this invisible Creator lives, where these invisible elements survive, and how are they surviving there. And we can see with that same mindset of experimental nature of mankind, of which has led to the discovery of so many places around the world, because it is as a respect of trying to discover the nature and the existence of invisible, immortal beings that led to the white man discovering so many islands and so many spaces and so many hidden inhabited places on the earth that we all are having as history today. And in present time now, we see the likes of Jeff Bezos and Richard Branson and the southern billionaires trying to exploit the outer space, the universe as a whole. Like Jeff Bezos said, they are trying to find out if there are other places mankind can go and live and exist, so that they
especially the rich ones.
So that they can try to see with that they can reduce the population of human beings on Earth and take some.
Okay. Let's talk about the Earth first. China. We understand that if China and the US cooperate, there will be a lot of reduction in emission of gases. But China is becoming the industry or the factory of the world. So how can China now reduce emission and help the world? John Kerry was lamenting. So, Mazi, any suggestion to this book?
Well, you see, it's unfortunate that the people who created the huge level of gas emission or carbon emission on the earth through industrial revolution in China are the same people now calling China to reduce the emission. How do you want them to do that? Because everybody, about 90% of American manufacturing companies shut down in the 90s and moved, outsourced all their production to China. And China became a booming industrial hub for almost all global products, even those that are invented and produced in America, invented and produced in Europe, all outsource all their production elements to China. And China began to develop in factories, industries, in small hamlets. And that now has developed to a huge magnitude of industrial pollution, both air and water. And now there's the same rich Westerners are now calling for China to reduce its emission. That means they have to shut down a lot of those factories and then a lot of those production networks across the entire Southeast Asia, and then locate where? To Africa. Africa will become the dumping ground for that. And so the fact here is how to be reasonable and rational in the decision making with regards to the level of productivity that is taking place on Earth, and especially in some of the highly industrialized countries or highly emerging industrialized countries in the world, especially in China, India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Cambodia.
So to cut it short, Donald Trump was a failure when it comes to managing the climate, because he was just not into it, and in fact he pulled America out of it, and later Joe Biden came into it. I wonder how he managed to miss that one when the whole world is collapsing under his feet. But let me quickly ask Mark in Milan. Mark, the rich ones are leaving us. The very rich ones, Richard Branson, Jeff Bezos, they are leaving us with our climate here. Tell us about how Jeff Bezos and his group have left us, and even though anything that goes up must come down. Mark, please lead us. What are these guys doing, leaving us?
Yes. First of all, thank you, Doc. Thank you, Dr. Shagun. I want to say a little on the flood situation in Europe. The German death toll has risen to 157. Also, take note that it's all serious in Belgium, not only in Germany. Belgium has 36 people as at yesterday there. So in total, we're talking about 188 people so far that have, the flood has taken away. I'm not really looking at this flood situation as a result of climate change or gas emission. Believe me, that's why, to an extent, I reason with Trump. It's not really about that. I mean, the world has ever been experiencing this environmental disasters. It has nothing to do that much with the gas emission and all these, some of these things we say, but it's also important, imperative that the world's industries should check the emission of their gas and outline a package of steps towards zero emission if possible. Now that brings us to the discussion on what the new discovery. The new discovery is that the billionaires think the earth is so pounded with human activities, human endeavors. Now they need to expand up to the sky. Our very good friend, your UK man there, started it.
Richard Branson.
Yes, Richard Branson. And now it is like a kind of ego thing. It's more like an ego thing, you know.
Is it ego or money? You don't have money, you can't get there.
Yes, ego brings out money brings out your ego, because the three of them now are now on the plane trying to see who outdoes who. But
Studio, give us that picture when they were somersaulting like chicken in the.
Yes,
I'm not those that know about the somersaulting chicken before. You know, let's look at the rich ones somersaulting where there was no gravity, and now we see these people.
Yes.
Space. Is it everything you thought it would be? Yeah, look. All of it.
Oh, that's great!
The blackness of space. And here, guys. Oh, yeah. All ready? You just have to wait for it. Who wants a Skittle? Alright, see if we can catch this in the round. Yeah! No, so it's off there. Try again. It's so good. Oh my God. This is incredible. Enjoy this.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, this is different, isn't it?
It's a little different. I cannot. Oh, wow. Try to take a moment.
Well. Who wants to go to outer space? Mazi, would you like to go to outer space?
Sorry, I am not sure I am ready for that kind of exploration.
No. Let me ask you the right question. Mazi, you are my friend, but you're very ready for this question. Do you have the necessary money to go to outer space?
We are just tempting the invisible, immortal, living God wherever he is. And I think he's bearing us for a while. The day he will decide not to bear those things, some people will get there and not come back again. and then we wonder where they have gone to.
No. Let me ask Nat. Supposing our billionaires give you the money. After all, there was an 18-year-old boy who went with Jeff. Are you interested in going to outer space to go and sleep for 11 minutes and spend some 11 billion pounds?
No.
Why not? All of you, are you afraid?
No, this are also one of the things, laws against nature.
Oh, you mean money against nature? I mean, I don't share this one with you.
You know, the lifestyle,
No.
the lifestyle of the humans that have created some of the challenges we have today.
So if you have a free craft like the Shepherd that will take you to outer space, you don't want to see the Earth with all the descriptions. Some people landed on the moon. You are saying we are troubling nature. Is that what you say?
But see that none of them was able to stabilize in the aircraft.
Yeah, because there's no gravity there.
Yeah, that is it. So what are you doing in a place where there is no gravity? Everybody's floating.
No, I'm going to Italy. Mark in Italy. Do you want to go where you get a free ride to outer space?
Doc, you don't even ask me this, Doc, because my desire, I dream when I'm watching the video. I'm a member of the NASA online.
Come on, tell me something.
When I'm watching this video, I close my eyes and I imagine myself being in that group.
I'm with you. I'm in your suitcase
You don't know how I fantasize, how I daydream, and I wish I'm up there with them. When Richard Branson went, because I liked his own spaceship. It was more, it was more. He had his own spaceship was quite different because they had drivers. Now this one just parachuted up and came back.
Come on, yeah, that's true.
So there's difference in this construction and the way normally there's something takes them up and at the point it comes down on its own. The model. You
said you're a member of the NASA.
Yes, sir. I am a member of the NASA group online.
Please register me when you are going. We are going together. But in 30 seconds,
I will take you along because imagine being out there, seeing this Earth, how small
there is no coronavirus in outer space.
No
I am going. I'm leaving those people.
No fighting, no bickering, no animosity, no hatred, no.
We'll just be jumping and somersaulting. I'm going with you. Can you in 30 seconds convince my two friends, Azu and Nat, before we go on a short break?
Let me just tell them this. One of the crew in yesterday's flight was Willie Funk, an 82-year-old woman that's been working in NASA.
I saw her. Yeah.
And she never had the opportunity to go up there. Now Jeff called her in, and it made her like she wanted to faint, having been to go there. Now, what she said is this: the greatest experience you can experience is seeing the Earth from the top. And
it said that the Earth is fragile. So to do it.
And also our man Richard Branson said, he said, what more again to life? He felt so fulfilled when he left, and he feels like he has accomplished everything as a human being.
And you know what? There is no visa to go to that place. Nobody can stop you. No visa, no immigration control. You just get your Shepherd or something and fly. No government. We're going to leave Azu and the Nat here on Earth. We are going. We're flying. We're flying away. Now we're going on a short break. When we return, we'll be looking at what's going on in South Africa. You want to listen to what's going on, what is wrong with humanity. But don't go away. We'll be right back.
Gen Gang Story magazine is an African international bi-monthly magazine Based in Milan, Italy, and founded in 2016, the publication focuses on personalities, fashion, style, entrepreneurship, and culture for Africans. Though articles on food, movies, fitness, music, travel, sports, technology, and books are also featured. Our lives full of best stories. A lot can happen in a month. Expand your mind, change your world. Get Schengen Story magazine's full editions. Celebrating Africans make an impact. Read better, the inside story. Your fashion magazine for a better lifestyle. Inspiring stories for you. Your monthly dose of entertainment. A better mind, keeping you updated.
Hashtag Schengen Story Magazine. Get Schengen Story Magazine full editions.
It has been 1 year of coronavirus, and that sickness has affected the whole globe. The aftermath will even be worse, the way the scientists are telling us. And we believe that we need to counter it right now. If 1 million souls should do good to 1 other million souls, it will be a better place. So we want to start this project. 1 million souls to do good to 1 million souls. Why don't you join us? You don't have to register anywhere. Follow me on Twitter at Shegun Johnson UK for daily tips. There we show you how to do good to one person. Always remember, 1 million souls, do good to 1 million souls.
Thanks for watching Unity. Now we want to look at what's going on in South Africa. Since they changed the former president, Jacob Zuma, things have not remained the same in that part of the world. We have seen people going out brazenly, stealing, breaking, killing. Many people have died. Zuma still in the prison, given 15 months imprisonment for contempt of court. And you tend to ask from another angle, was it worth it? Why did they not suspend that sentence? For one man to be in jail, they have lost billions of pounds for several decades, they may not recover. And what South Africa is facing right now, someone that's a country that was close to being a first country, first world in terms of development, has been set back several decades. We have to get in rethinking Africa how we get this democracy. Is it democracy by looting or democracy by threatening our leaders? But there's a thorough necessity for discussion how we choose to get democracy work. But let me first of all give it to people who have been studying what's going on in South Africa, so that we can have an understanding. Is this the way we want to go in Africa, or this is just a one-off? Nat, please bring us up to date in what is happening in South Africa.
Thank you very much. The South African experience or the crisis at hand is something. It's sad and it's unfortunate that the Republic of South Africa, with the potentials of becoming an industrialized country, a great country, it has been shattered. Is it because if you go back to history, not too far ago, maybe starting from 1994, when Jacob Zuma, no, not Jacob Zuma, Mandela was released, and he was the first black president, followed by Mbeki, followed by
Zuma
himself, and then Cyril Ramaphosa. What seems to have been independence was more political and not economic. The blacks who are the majority in South Africa really didn't get any economic independence, no jobs, almost more than 32% unemployment among South African youths. The level of poverty, level of ignorance, level of crime, public municipal facilities not working, the level of crime in South Africa, even disease. And so this crisis, the Zuma riot, was a time bomb. It was just waiting for the appropriate time to happen. We saw the scenario with the xenophobia among against Nigerians and other non-South African citizens some years ago. But this one that happened in June or thereabout was on a massive and industrial scale. I think none of them thought of such a thing happening or foresaw it. So the Zuma thing was just used as a stepping stone. 15 months imprisonment and likely to spend just 4. You see, but we see that this issue, the 15 months, was just a sentence for contempt of court. The main issue of corruption and other things is still outstanding for Zuma to answer, but he really wasn't ready to answer. He really was still seeing himself as a president of South Africa from KwaZulu Natal, and the Zulu people and war.
Okay, a quick question: was it worth it after what they have lost?
Well, when you consider the factors involved, the level of poverty, the level of insecurity, and especially the product of capitalism, the masses were left behind. It is the few black people and the whites that were benefiting. So it's a protest. Maybe if this didn't happen, Ramaphosa will not sit up. Initially,
Nelson Mandela, Thabo Mbeki, and Zuma himself, they have overlooked the lack of economic independence for the blacks. I think they have overlooked the political independence they got, and Mandela became the first black president of South Africa, had overshadowed everything. Their emancipation from the white people was bigger, but nobody took into consideration emancipation from economic ruin that had taken several years. But let's look at the behavior of this studio. Please give us what happened. Let's have a look at what happened in South Africa that is making the round. And this will open our eyes. And there's a very sad situation going on.
There was no room on the road which wraps itself around the port of Durban. It had been turned into a thoroughfare for raiders and thieves as they ransacked warehouses and distribution centres located close to the shipping terminal. The young and the old took advantage, with people on foot, joined by those in pickup trucks who'd come to steal in bulk. And the police and the country's military, well, they were nowhere to be seen.
Why are people doing this? Why are people doing it?
The train tracks were used as a form of escape by those lugging stolen goods, although many tried to avoid our camera.
Hungry, we are hungry.
You're hungry?
Yeah, no joke.
It was a sentiment expressed by many.
Why are people looting?
No food, no nothing, no work, he said.
But you can't eat a bicycle.
I can, he responded. The trouble was triggered by the arrest of the former president, Jacob Zuma, last week. but it has been fueled by frustration in a country where millions are struggling in the midst of the pandemic. The authorities have made nearly 2,000 arrests nationwide, but they are not in control. On the River Horse Industrial Estate, a police unit fired tear gas and rubber bullets in an attempt to clear the park. The police are outnumbered and bewildered, and some are growing angry. As they race to another call, we saw one officer firing his weapon at people on the roadside at point-blank range. Roadblocks have been erected to intercept the looters, but they will not stop this disorder, for the authorities lack basic resources, while millions of people cannot meet their basic needs. In a crisis that threatens South Africa, ordinary people have chosen to steal, and the implications seem unmanageable. John Sparks, Sky News in Durban.
Well, it's a tough situation, but one that is inevitable. Mazi Godson, we've seen this in Nigeria before, which we call the COVID-19 palliative stealing, the massive stealing. What's your take on this?
Yeah, Doc. Honestly, I would say that it's an unfortunate situation in the African continent. Obviously, I think that between 1990 or 1992 to date, South Africa should have developed stronger in their democratic transitions or democratic dispensations over the years. And just like some of the philosophers will say, they said the strength of a man is in his character. And some of the leaders we have in Africa today have some characters that are not immutable in terms of moral conditionality of their approach to governance. And they say moral, they say, is an easy thing to know, but most difficult to practice. When people, it's easy to understand what is moral and immoral, but then it is difficult to really practice what is really moral. And I feel that by now, South African political system should have developed a very strong oppositional system of politics. During the apartheid era, it was a one-party state dominated by the minority few who run the country over many years. And freedom, they say, is very complex. Just like Rousseau Square said, Jack Rousseau said that man was born free, but yet everywhere they are in chains. And it's unfortunate that the likes of Mandela, Mbeki, and Zuma himself, and some others, fought for the, with the help of many African countries, including Nigeria, fought for the freedom of the Black South Africans. And upon the freedom they had, many South Africans were still in chains, in bondage, and couldn't really fantasize the elements of that apartheid freedom they had. And unfortunately, this was centered on ANC, ANC being the embodiment of rulership in the country, and the ANC being a political party captured by the few. And we could imagine that if the few colored people in South Africa are living better, even better than when they were in government, even when the majority African Zulu blacks are in government, yet 37% of the African Zulus are the most impoverished people. Their communities are still very, very backward. Many of them don't even complete their secondary educations. Many of them don't have any artisan work. And you wonder what has ANC been doing for the last almost 30-something years in government. And yet, we could see the reaction of the people. It means that there is need to open up the political system, the political sound wave in South Africa to allow a collective debate and engagement in the politics of South Africa, and expand the economy. The economy is still being strangled by just a few of the white, the colored people. Let me not say white, the colored people, and a few of the affluent Zulu blacks in South Africa. And so this just got to show that irrespective of the freedom one seeks, you may seek the freedom and end up worse than when you are in what you may think mentally bondage or in slavery, economic or political slavery. So, and that is what is happening in Nigeria today. Many people will be thinking they're fighting for freedom, but they can't imagine, they are unable to fantasize the future of gaining that freedom. Where will it be in 20, 30 years' time? Are you still going to be the freedom that you anticipate? Is it going to be real? Or are you going to strangle yourself into a new form of self-enslavement by your own people?
that has been the challenge. What kind of freedom? Mark in Milan, what did the freedom given to the South Africans, did it involve looting like this? Or there is a problem with the negotiation when Mandela and the rest were doing it? They did not envisage that South Africans will break down into things. What has actually gone wrong?
South Africa has broken down, but it's as a result of the South Africans. The indigenous South Africans are a bunch of lazy people. Mandela and the past leaders did their best to bring a certain level of good life to South Africa, but it has broken down. I have not been to South Africa, but I have friends in South Africa, and what they tell me most times when we discuss is the average South African, I say this boldly to them, the average South African is lazy. They are not ready to help themselves. They only seek for easy means of livelihood. So what we're seeing now is so pathetic. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa yesterday said the violence that has rocked their country looked like it was pre-planned. And he described it as an assault to democracy. The riot has sparked so much problems. People say, yes, it's because of the jailing of former President Jacob Zuma. But like Dr. Nat said, which I also agree, this is a coalition of built up reaction. So the death toll has risen to 212 people now since Thursday, and an estimated $1 billion worth of stock have been stolen in Kwali, Zulu, Natale, with at least 800 retail shops being looted. So these are clear indications of a breakdown. The South Africans are a bunch of lazy people. Believe me, Dr. Shegun, South Africa has all it takes to flourish if one is ready to do things. There are opportunities. It's not like Nigeria where things are a little bit jammed up. South Africa is open for business. South Africa has good business conditions. The ease of doing business flourishes very well in South Africa. You have Nigerians in South Africa that are doing business and making good money. You know, you have foreigners, other foreigners, so many other people in South Africa doing well. So why has the South Africans decided to take this path of life? They are a bunch of lazy people.
Is it not the condition of the mindset during the apartheid regime You
Yeah. Yes.
you recall the Pavlov experiment
That's
where
that's
a chicken is released and couldn't move because it's been conditioned. Is that not the situation now?
yes, Doc. Everybody, like my brother Mazi said, humanity is changed in one way or the other. We all have passed through different conditions of life, different emotional conditions, psychological conditions, but you get out of it. You don't keep yourself and still say you're being held down by condition. Yes, the average South African has been tarnished. Their emotions have been tarnished with the apartheid mindset and all that. But some of them are coming out of that mindset. Some of them are making moves. So, but on a larger scale, South Africans are a bunch of lazy people. They enjoy more of social life, partying, drinking, smoking, drug taking, than making a life of productivity for themselves. So it's a serious thing we're seeing. KwaZulu Natal has become a free-for-all situation, and the president is not much of in control. The situation is getting out.
I've been to KwaZulu Natal myself. I've been to Kroba, they call it Joburg, Johannesburg. I've been there. I've been to Pretoria, and I tell you, these places, they look well developed, better than some African countries I've been to. But now it appears that they are even giving up, because the only thing they could do right now is they pray. They say, let us pray. Studio, give us the latest video from South Africa where they are just standing up and saying, God, because government has hands up to. So, but listen to this one.
Cars shot at, left chair. Millions of rands worth of stuff. Literally.
Beautiful country, and this we have to deal with.
In the presence of my Savior.
the story of South Africa. We have got so many people writing in. Please keep your comments in. I have one from Olukemi Modile, and she is saying that I hope this will not create further trouble. If there is a vacuum, there will be a further. Yes, thank you, Studio. Olukemi Modile says, I hope this will not come trouble. And there have been other comments earlier, but we just have to move on. As if that was not enough, the British High Commissioner in Nigeria has said that let there be brain drain. Those who have accepted MSc in England or United Kingdom and PhD, they could be given 2 to 3 years to stay and work. And those who are qualified in Nigeria or African countries as a whole can also make the application and come into the country. Now, for those individuals, they may think they're going to a developed country where there is a commonwealth and common blessings for everyone. But how about the nations they are living? It is called brain drain. While the United Kingdom will be having brain gain, Nigeria will be having brain drain. But let me leave it to experts to discuss. Nat, you are our in-house researcher. You had the the British High Commissioner in Nigeria. In fact, Studio, play us the British High Commissioner in Nigeria, what she had to say to Nigerians, and she believed it was good news. Listen to this one. But we saw it brain gain for England, brain drain for Nigeria.
Hello, my name is Katrina Lang, British High Commissioner to Nigeria, and I want to share some good news with you. Since leaving the European Union, the UK government is introducing new visa routes, both for students and those looking to work in the UK. In July, we opened our new graduate route. So for those of you who are studying at a British education establishment up to graduate or postgraduate level, studying a degree or master's, you will now be able to stay in the UK for 2 years. And if you've studied a PhD, you'll be able to stay for 3 years. And you will no longer need a sponsor to apply for these visa routes. If you've completed your education and you're looking to secure a job, you can also apply for our skilled worker route. So we think these are great innovations, and they're designed to attract the brightest and the best. And indeed, last year, I'm glad to say, we were able to offer 17,500 visas to Nigerian students, and that's an 83% increase. So I hope you'll believe me when I say we really, really are looking to attract the brightest and best Nigerian students to study in the UK, and then indeed to stay on and work with us, sharing their skills as we join together in our great UK-Nigerian partnership. Thank you for listening.
Nat, was this good news or bad news? Brain drain for us, Nigerians, and brain gain for us, British, isn't it?
Yes, what the High Commissioner of UK to Nigeria has just said, it just is a stark reminder of our history. We know that some 3 generations backwards, we had Nigerian families coming here, especially to study and not going back. Although some of them will normally go back immediately after their studies, but some of them did not go back. And so today we have up to 3 to 4 generations of Nigerians who have lived in the UK. And so what she is saying, with what we already have in the system here, especially the health system and maybe education, Nigerians are everywhere, supporting the health system, supporting education, supporting the economy, and then as the High Commissioner confirmed herself, with UK leaving the European Union, they need to have new market frontiers. They've gone to Asia, they've gone to other parts of Europe. Then the Prime Minister of the UK government now has a special envoy to Nigeria to ensure that their interest is taken care of. And so when you think of education. You know, for any country to really develop, you have to have the right education. You have to get your people educated. We have seen, and this issue of doing a master's or a PhD degree, you have an attraction here. They will encourage you to stay around. And sometimes when you do a research that is very helpful to the system here, they will encourage you to stay around. You find the lecturers trying to who supervise some of these researches encourage the student to do a research in a particular topic.
Well, it's another form of neo-colonialism, isn't it? Where you just take the best from other countries and bring it. It's not that new, but it's a neo-colonialism, they call it. Those who study these things. We'll go on a short break. When we return, we'll be looking at what is happening to Kanu, what is happening to Igboho, all those who are asking for the self-determination of their various ethnic groups in Nigeria. Don't go away. You have not had the latest.
Give yourself away for me.
Thanks for watching You Decide. In the last 14 days, the whole of social media, especially in Nigeria, have been agog with Obi Kubana. He buried his mother and spent a lot of money, and the whole place has been jammed with so much of talking about how money was spent. Some people said recklessly, some people said judiciously. This man had made his money. I don't know how, but he's been spending money, and he buried his mother in a very unique way. Now you watch this clip and see how the mom was taken home in this special golden casket. Now, you think that was something that was in Oba, Nigeria, in Anambra State? You think that was a display of wealth? No. Watch this one. How Naira was spent. Studio, show them. Did you hear someone call another person CB? You know the meaning of CB, don't you? Central Bank. The man brought it. Mazi Godson, please tell us, what do you know of Obi Kubana, and how did he make his money? And he has promised to empower 300 young men with 1 million naira each, 300 million naira. I mean, it appears that naira was like ocean to him. Godson, where are you when I needed you most?
Well, Doc, I wouldn't want to say so much because I will only know what I know, and I can only say what I know and as much as I know. The fact is that we all know that Igbo as a people are highly enterprising people who find every means of entrepreneurship and develop a skill in generating as much money from such entrepreneurship venture. And it has been like that for many years, right from the days of Chief, try to remember his first name, Ojuku's father, when in the 30s and 40s was regarded as one of the first Nigerian known billionaire with a lot of money and ventures all over the country. The Igbo spirit of making money has been endowed for years, and especially from the people of Anambra State, who many have regarded as the center of soul trading. They know what it takes to trade anything, and they can trade anything to make money. And for Obi Kubana, I think is just one of those numerous Igbo young men that have made money in the field they have found themselves. But how?
What field? Can you tell us what field?
Well, there are so many things Igbo people do. Obi Kubana, I know, set up one of the nicest nightclub and social engagement center in Abuja many years ago. Used to call it Ibiza Sports. I mean, I've been there once or twice when it was newly set up. And from that business, I would say, I wouldn't want to say that all that money came from that particular business. Maybe he ventured into other things. And you know, there are people whose business endow them to so many other prominent people. And these prominent people end up investing into them, you know, in a silent business partnership. They are not recognized openly with that business, but they have their money invested in that business. There are so many Nigerians who there are invisible, silent billionaire investors in their business, both from the private and the public sector. There are many governors, many former president, present government officials who are investing the money they make on certain individuals whom they have come across to trust in terms of their money being secured. And so, some of these people make so much money that they secure the money of their invisible silent investors and then have enough to throw around. And at the same time, introduce so many other people into the business and the idea. And so these young guys who are in their late 45, 50s would have set up a syndicate of friends and network of business engagement. I know he went from Ibiza to own the Cubana nightclub. The Cubana nightclub used to be one of the most expensive nightclubs, where by the time you sit down in Cubana nightclub one night and you're about to leave, your payment slip will be reading about 1.2 million naira in one night sitting. And some people spend 2, 3, 5, 7, 10 million naira in one sitting in Cubana nightclub in Abuja in those days. And then he went from Abuja to Lagos, and then Lagos to he went to Owerri to Lagos, Lagos to Port Harcourt. He has Cubana nightclub in about 4 or 5 states in Nigeria, and then he went in from the nightclub to hotel, Cubana Hotel and Resorts. So there are so many things that are there. I wouldn't want to indulge in how he made money. Every has a way of
spending legitimate money. Okay, did you support? Would you support the extravagance?
What I will not support is the public show of money as such as that in our present generation, because this is what is inducing and motivating young men who are not willing to sacrifice any other thing to make money any way they want to make it, but to go and start doing kidnapping and start doing other means of making money. Because if you are not able to showcase your wealth like this in the midst of your mates, your peers, the next thing is to go look for where to kidnap people and ask for 70 million, 100 million, 200 million. And it's wrong for our society. It's wrong for public viewing. This is not supposed to be shown on a social media. It's a very wrong signal and a wrong exposure to the international community. The way we make a jamboree of our Nigerian currency, our money, our wealth. It exposes, because for me, honestly, I would say, why are such people gathered in Oba and there was no kidnapping all the whole period of that place? There was nobody went to kidnap anybody in that place.
Everything is not kidnapping.
And ask for his 100 million or 200 million. Why are they running after the poor masses and be kidnapping poor masses, poor children, and be asking for money?
But you don't know the amount of security has put in there that your government cannot put in there. So
it's a matter of dear it, and anybody who dreams and knows that he dreams for something will want to dear it. So they would have dared it.
Those horses were very lean. Did you see the horses? They were very, very lean. Not the kind of horses.
If in a party and you got a donation of 800 million naira from people, I mean, it's something enticing and spinning. So some people should have gone there to look for business, also their own business. But the truth here is that the show of money, the public show of extravagance.
Okay, let me quickly ask Mark.
It's not good for our present society and the public.
Mark, how did you feel? I mean, we have one Nigerian successful, legitimate money as far as we know. It's not like hush puppies money. So, how do you feel, man?
Yes, legitimate money. That's a good point to put out. Well, the young man has done well for himself. Chairman of Cubana Group would be Iagu, like he's called his name, popularly known as Obi Cubana. He has revealed to BBC station how he made his money. So it's obvious that he has worked his way through. Like Mazi Azu said, there's something about the Igbo man. Because, like we were saying of the South African and the mind, how the apartheid affected them, because the Igbo man came out from a hard-pressed situation. So there's this mentality of trying to make a good life for themselves. So that encouraged them to go into entrepreneurial pursuits. And for Obi Cubana, it has worked well for him. The story I have about him is he struggled his way through his youth service time to establish a business. He was doing little things, gathering fund. You know, the Igbo man can be very, there's this good attribute they have. They can persevere. An Igbo man could be in a corner suffering and taking all the punches. And at a certain time, he would have accumulated enough and jump into a bigger project. Yes. So Obi Cubana has done that. Take one a person giving his mother this beautiful funeral rite is not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea to be luxurious and to be flashy. But you see, like Mazi said, we need to be careful in this time because already we have a generational wrong mindset in Nigeria. The young people don't see the hustle. They don't see the perseverance and the time.
They just want to spend.
They just see that big money you have and they think, you can just have that big money at once. So they don't know that underneath that is some life, some process, life experiences and all that. So I'm giving him a thumbs down for giving out this impression that money is too much money and we can do whatever we want. And these young people are looking and they are getting a different message. So we need
and
to
some of them will be looking for Yahoo Plus.
Yeah, some of them now are thinking of already. That's what this generation of Nigerians are into. You know, all these notoriety. You know, notorious money-making ways. So now more of them will be thinking like that again. But the young man, the man Obi Kubana, has gone through he has paid his dues. He said he slept on corners in Abuja during a service call, trying to make something out of himself. Also, I want to say this: the world sees this also as a mockery. You see, we make a mockery of ourselves when we do this because Nigeria is still rated as a not too economical country. I mean, there are more number of people suffering than those that are well-to-do. So when this kind of message is sent out, the Europeans, for example, will laugh at us and say, you're doing this. The road to that event, for example, is not tarred. After that event,
it's not the government of Anambra State. Anambra State was supposed to try that place, not the individual.
Dr. Shegun, after that event, probably there won't be electricity again for people. After that event, people will not have access to water and some basic things. So now, why do you come to all this show of money when behind you is suffering, poverty, and people are still
okay. I got some information here. People, please keep sending your commentaries. Someone here says New God's Power says according to Section 21 of the Central Bank of Nigeria Act 2007, a person who sprays the naira risks imprisonment for a term not less than 6 months or a fine not less than 50,000 naira or both. Those have not been, I don't think they will activate that because there was a lot of spraying there. Then I get this comment from Modile. He says concerning the brain drain, he says in as much as it is brain drain, Nigerians are looking for a better life. I'm totally in support of anyone who wants better for himself or herself. Well, we just have to listen to what the solicitor of Kanu said. You remember Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB leader who was abducted by the Nigerian government. The Nigerian government has not told us how they abducted him. We've had so many versions on social media. Now we want to hear from the horse's mouth, as it were, the solicitor to Nnamdi Kanu. How was he abducted and what's happening to him right now? By the way, next week he will be brought to court to appear 26th and 27th of July. Many things will be released, but this is just a preview. Let's listen to what his solicitor has to say.
You could describe to us when you see Nnamdi Kanu, how he be, what's in his state of mind?
Well, his state of mind wasn't as sound as it should be. You know, if you listen to his broadcast, you would know that he's a historian. But when I was talking with him, he had trouble recalling the actual date he was abducted. It surprised me. So to jog his memory, I asked him how many nights he spent in Abuja before he was brought to court. He told me 2 nights. So he was brought to court on Tuesday, the 29th June. So we figured he must have been brought into the country on Sunday, the 27th. So when I mentioned that date, he said, sure, that's the date. But I took particular note of that. I also noticed that he had a visible injury on his right wrist. I asked him what it was. He said it was where they had chained him, put the chain on him, and chained him to the concrete floor in Nairobi, Kenya. And he has disappearing injury on the left wrist and an injury right here at the nape of the neck. He appears like somebody who has been mentally traumatized, so he's unwilling to talk about one or two things until you prompt him. Like when I prompted him about the date, that's the conclusion I drew. How many nights he spent in Abuja. No, he's not. He's traumatized.
If you tell us more about what's happened, because you just mentioned Kenya, and Kenyan government don't come out to talk, say, they no arrest Nnamdi Kanu for Kenya. So tell us more about
this.
What
happened is this. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu entered Kenya, I believe, on a certain date, right around April this year. I'm not sure. I'm trying to establish the actual date of entry. But I have documentation from a Kenyan hospital that placed him in Kenya as of 14th April this year, 14th May. So he entered Kenya.
And what did they do for Kenya hospital?
He went there because he had issues with his heart. He felt he wasn't well. So he went there, he was examined, and the diagnosis was hypertension and heart murmur. They made prescriptions for him, and my examination of the medical report indicated medications for heart and controlling blood pressure. So apparently he entered Kenya before the 14th May this year. So he had settled in at a location in Nairobi, a temporary location, and he entered with his passport. That day, on the fateful day, that was on I believe on the 19th, yes, not believe, certain, 100%. He drove himself to the airport from his temporary location in Kenya. He drove to Jomo Kenyatta International and went into the garage, the underground garage, to pick up a visitor flying in from outside. Okay, that is not necessary for this discussion, the identity or whatever. So the moment he got into the parking lot, the garage, a group of several men, well armed to the teeth.
And this now waiting Nnamdi Kanu tell you about everything you remember of waiting happened before they bring him to Nigeria.
This is what he told me, and his recollection of this was very, very lucid and clear.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, so now they swooped on him. They gathered and grabbed him, okay, in a very physical, rough way, and he raised the lamb. Luckily for him, there were a few people that were there, and the people wanted to intervene in terms of really very aggressive intervention, because to them, I asked him why they would consider making an aggressive intervention when something that seemed law enforcement was happening. He said perhaps they didn't believe it was normal. So the people that were abducting him told everybody to stay clear, that this person you're looking at is a Nigerian terrorist who assists the Al-Shabaab terrorists in Kenya. They grabbed him, put him in their car, and left, and took him to a private residence, not an official detention facility, where they chained him to the floor for most of the 8 days he spent there, and they really tortured him.
Well, Buhari has earned himself the unenviable name of government of abduction by abductors against the abducted. You recall that Buhari did the same thing in 1984 against the former Minister of Transport, Umaru Diko, when he was created here in London, but for a housewife who saw everything and informed the police. Buhari has not changed in that respect, because what his government should have done was to ask for Kenya that he should be deported, and then Kanu will now have to go to a Kenyan court to say whether he will want to come or not, and his case should have been discussed. That's what civilized countries do. Unfortunately, on this occasion, Buhari got himself entangled with this kind of abduction. and we just cannot pretend it didn't happen. It has happened, and I don't know how the government is feeling in the Committee of Nations. But I will leave this to be discussed with my colleagues just briefly because it's not palatable at all. And we understand the other man from the Odua Nation, Chief Sunday Adeyemo, whose house was raided middle of the night, has been arrested at the Cotonou airport when he was trying to fly out, and that he's still in chains in Cotonou. But then there have been the Yoruba leaders trying to get him released. It's not yet done from what we're hearing, and that they are likely to go to court. Whether other embassies, foreign embassies, are intervening in the Republic of Benin is going on or not is yet to be ascertained. But we will give you the latest as soon as we get some of these things. But what we know is that Sunday Adeyemo, alias Igboho, has been arrested and detained in Cotonou, and work have started. But I must say that the Nigerian government this time around have not been given the opportunity to abduct Igboho like they did for Kanu. So if he had to go to court, which we shall see, some have said that the Nigerian government has got the capacity to harass the Beninois government to release Igboho to them. But we can equally say that there was this professor many years ago that Abacha harassed Republic of Benin to release unto them, and the Benin government refused. And even after being promised $1 million, so Abacha couldn't lay his hands on this professor and his wife, and so they escaped to Ghana and eventually to Zimbabwe. But on this occasion, they are putting a lot of pressure on the Beninois government. We'll see what happens. But I believe that Buhari will want to repackage his image. Will want Igboho to go to court and let the Beninois judiciary determine what will happen, rather than abduct Igboho again. Otherwise, Buhari will be known as an abductor for the rest of history. But I'm sure that he's listening and he will want to change this. But quickly, let me give my colleagues a minute each. Nat, what's your take on this? Please take the two together. Kanu and Igboho. Igboho arrested, Kanu abducted. What's your take?
Well, the Kanu saga is still very much alive. I understand the British government is trying to insist that Kanu, a British citizen, should be repatriated to UK because. But what is really happening behind the scene is diplomacy. UK has its interest, vast interest in Nigeria, and they wouldn't want to do anything that will affect this relationship, because Kanu was traveling around the world with a British passport. How did he get it, and how did he get out of Nigeria? The Sunday Igboho thing. Again, Sunday Igboho is a bit. He's lucky. I think one of the wives is a German citizen, and the German government has taken up the case with the Beninois authorities. But there are two other documents that may help Igboho to not to come back to Nigeria under any extradition. The extradition treaty Nigeria has with Benin Republic, Ghana, and other West African countries. The Igboho will have said, I think through his lawyer, that he doesn't expect to have any fair trial if he's brought back to Nigeria. And as a political fugitive, he shouldn't be forced in a crate or in any form back to Nigeria. And the Article 20 of the African Charter on Human Rights also will go a long way to help him, to allow him to go to...
If it should get to the courts in Benin.
Yeah, if she get to the court in Benin, and the court.
But what if some rascals? If some rascals should now go and abduct him, like the Nigerian government of Buhari is known to do?
Well, the thing in Benin that there is some relative degree of rule of law. It's not rule of jungle, or it's not jungle justice. And you should also remember that in Benin Republic, maybe half of the population of Benin Republic are from Nigeria, especially Oyo, Osun, and some of these neighboring states.
But the Benin economy depends largely on Nigeria and France. The Benin Republic is so poor that they have to depend on the revenue from France and Nigeria. That I know. Of course, France giving the larger part. So if Germany could liaise with France, they could put a good leverage on the Benin government. But my concern is that Nigeria could force its way through, because Nigeria pays half of ECOWAS funding, and they could still abduct that man, in their funny way, the way they did Kanu. But let's quickly hear from Mazi. Mazi, what's your take in 60 seconds?
Well, Doc, my take is that unfortunately, Nigerians are finding themselves in the situation they are now with regards to the ongoing shenanigans in terms of abduction, kidnapping, arrest, deporting, smuggled, whatever words. And I hope that in one form or the other, the international community would begin to play a very sensitive and rational role in trying to find a way to caution the Nigerian government in the way they are acting and reacting at the international scene with regards to the Interpol or invisible masked men going around the globe looking for those the government wants to get back to Nigeria illegally. Because
I'm just looking at the time because we have to go on break. Mark in Milan, a video has gone viral where a non-state actor was challenging the Super Falcons and say, you are working for a terrorist organization called Buhari administration, and that you people, how will you work for a terrorist government? That was shameful. I do not agree with the speaker, but he was saying some things that people are saying about the Nigerian abductive style. I think the Zamfara bandits have taught the Buhari government how to abduct.
Yes, Doc, good one. I saw the video too, and it's a shameful. It's not nice. Shame on the guy. Well, our country is in turmoil. Too many appalling situation going on, but you don't come to confront young girls that are trying to make a name for the country, trying to also do something positive. We are talking of mobilizing and encouraging our youth, and this group of girls are doing their best in this field, in sports. So there's a tournament going on, and they are there on a friendly match, and the man came out to embarrass them. The girls have nothing to do with governmental policies or issues of adoption. It's not, they didn't cause it. They are just...
Mark, let me ask you, do you think this will make Buhari and his cohorts to think that let's change strategy and tactics? This is not working. Even non-state actors, they're starting to call the government terrorists because they were going about abducting when there are legal ways of doing things. You think they will? I don't agree with that man. I mean, these are our young guys.
I don't agree with him.
I don't agree with him at all. But then, will this make the Nigerian government stop abducting people?
Yes, it might send a message because the girls are on the tournament for prelude to the Aisha Buhari competition going on. So obviously, the presidency would have had this, but the government, just yesterday, the media director show was talking about how Buhari is unrelented and will not be cowed or will not be pushed or coerced by these situations going around the world against him. So they are getting the message.
Crudity will continue. Crudity and cruelty will continue in his administration. Thank you. We have to go on a short break. Right now. When we return, we want to look at the deep things happening in Lagos and the National Assembly. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Schengen Story magazine is an African international bi-monthly magazine based in Milan, Italy, and founded in 2016. The publication focuses on personalities, fashion, style, entrepreneurship, and culture for Africans. Though articles on food, movies, fitness, music, travel, sports, technology, and books are also featured. Our lives full of best stories. A lot can happen in a month. Expand your mind, change your world. Get Schengen Story magazine's full editions. Celebrating Africans make an impact. Read better, the inside story. Your fashion magazine for a better lifestyle. Inspiring stories for you. Your monthly dose of entertainment. A better mind keeping you updated.
Hashtag Schengen Story magazine. Get Schengen Story magazine full editions.
It has been 1 year of coronavirus, and that sickness has affected the whole globe. The aftermath will even be worse, the way the scientists are telling us. And we believe that we need to counter it right now. If 1 million souls should do good to 1 other million souls, it will be a better place. So we want to start this project. 1 million souls to do good to 1 million souls. Why don't you join us? You don't have to register anywhere. Follow me on Twitter at Shegun Johnson UK for daily tips. There we show you how to do good to 1 person. Always remember, 1 million souls, do good to 1 million souls.
Give yourself away for me.
Thanks for staying with us. We just wanted to have a look at these 2 videos, transportation in Lagos State. I'm going to ask the studio to play you 2 videos, one with a lot of water in the bus, and the other one, someone clearing debts from the rail track so that the train could move. It was moving at a snail speed of 1 mile per hour because somebody had to physically remove the desk away from the rail. Let's look at this. Let's take the bus.
Nothing we go do now. I go spoil. The phone call this put to the enter water now. Wow. Oh, now we went there. I grant. Now we enjoy you. Says Papa know the float. You don't know this morning. I tell you, not this morning for.
Okay, let's look at the train one. I'm just thinking, oh my word.
You see the way that the train is moving. You see as death is slowing down the train movement. Everywhere is slow there. This is Oshodi. The train has been on standstill for over 2 hours. See, so unfortunate.
Water enter that, where water enter that road, the tire go the road, you no go move. You know that the faculty apart from that.
Nat, which one will you take in Lagos, the train or the bus? Quickly.
Which one will I take?
Yes, you want to move from Surulere to Victoria Island. Which one will you take?
Okay.
Is it the train or the bus?
I think the train will be okay.
Yeah, by the time you spend 5 hours to get to VI.
Yes.
If that is possible. Now, seriously, what do you think the government is not performing, is it? Or they should have got something?
This, when you say the government is not performing, is an understatement.
No, come on.
Is it because it starts from, I understand there have never been any serious planning for human and vehicular movement in Lagos.
And who stopped the metro in Lagos many years ago in 1984?
General Muhammadu Buhari, when he was military head of state.
So Lagos
late Jakande, may so rest in peace, wanted to give Lagos a befitting metro line like we have in the UK or other places. But Buhari stopped it. And they had to, for the contract being cancelled, the Lagos state government had to pay the contractors for cancelling, revoking the contract, more than what the cost of the contract.
Now, it's such an unfortunate thing because Buhari forced his way to government December 31st, 1983 through a coup, and he stopped the greatest thing that could have happened not only to Lagos State, but the suburb states and even Republic of Benin, because Lagos becomes the only city in the whole world with over 50 million people without a metro. Now, Lagos is the only, and that is why we have this perennial transportation affecting health, affecting economy, affecting everything. And yet the same Buhari is still there right now, and that's what we suffer. But beyond what we have just seen, Nat, in 60 seconds, how could we not change the kind of leadership we have through electronic transmission? They said electronic transmission of collated results is impossible, correct?
Well, it's not impossible. I think 2019 or 2018, we had the same challenge with an Electoral Act 2010. But this same Buhari refused to sign that electoral bill to come into law. And one of the reasons he gave was that it was too close to the elections. INEC would not be ready, and so many other excuses. But what is now coming out, what is also repeating itself, is that the APC does not want an electronic transmission of election results because there will be no room to manipulate the result, the figures.
Let me quickly ask Mazi Gossin, is it the APC or the helplessness of the people who could determine what they want for themselves?
Doc, you know better than I. Is the are morally corrupted members of the political parties, and more essentially the ruling party, that are coining off this idea of there is no full network coverage all over Nigeria to allow the services of carrying out an electronic transmission of results at an election in Nigeria, such as the Senate President Lawal will say that even in his senatorial district in Yobe, it's difficult to get network, such as the what's his name, Senator Ndame, is it Ndame?
Ndume.
From Borno State, saying that he has to top up his phone, whatever, in Abuja before traveling to his domain in order to get coverage. But these same people know that POS, which is now the most enterprising money sending and collection center than ATM in Nigeria, functions almost in every village. Because so many places in Nigeria, in some villages, you can now go to somebody that has a POS machine, the mobile money transmitting machine deployed by many of the banks now in Nigeria. You can go where you don't have ATM in a radius of about 200 kilometers or anywhere in your community.
Okay. Let's see whether Mark agrees. Let's see whether Mark agrees with Senate. Mark Milan, do you agree with Senate that electronic transmission is impossible for a good part of Nigeria, therefore should never be practiced, or give it to INEC to determine? Meanwhile, the chairman of INEC is appointed by the president. Okay, Mark.
Big brother, I wrote a piece on this, and it gives some insights around my pages. By frustrating electronic transmission of the election results, Nigerian lawmakers one core issue in this is that the independence of INEC will be jeopardized, and that is what the right don't want. They want INEC to be totally in control of everything concerning our election. But the truth of the matter and the fact in this whole thing is we need to go along with what humanity is going along with. Nigeria can be left in the dark. Electronic voting is the best. Electronic voting will give us exact, accurate information we need without being perturbed. Gone are the days when you go through this archaic and paper writing and pencil writing, and that gives room to so much for electoral malpractices. So the present government has a problem. They are not used to modernization, new technology, ITC, and all of these things that has empowered and improved the life of human activities. So there is no gainsaying. INEC, Nigeria needs electronic voting in the next election. Anyhow, INEC could work with the other bodies, let them figure it out, and let's do things the way normal people. Look, people are going to the moon, people are going to the sky, people are flying out, and we are still there doing archaic, ancient, primitive, no good thing results. So it was an unprecedented legislative maneuver. The Electoral Act was passed out. Both chambers of the Nigerian National Assembly had to squabble it out. It went with so much drama, chaos, and everything. But at the end of it all, the people want what they want. Electoral.
Okay. All right. I think so many things are going on in Nigeria right now that I'm sure the government is also too much in disarray. I mean, Oshibajo, with a release now, we don't know. I don't know if he's contesting or not. But when you listen to this advert, you will see why Buhari may want to hold on to a third term. And I say that with all sense of responsibility, because with what is happening to Kanu, Igboho, and if there should be a problematic Nigeria with all sorts of challenges they like within South Africa, then he may just say for emergency reasons we want to get peace before handing over. Well, we don't want that to happen. But then listen to what some people have brought Oshibajo into studio. Well, Oshibajo, just for those of you watching, you may not know, is the current vice president, and is going to contest the election into presidency come 2023. That will affect many people, especially Tinubu and some other people there who will want to. But that's the latest we are having right now. I don't think we have the time to comment, and if we have, I will ask my colleague to comment on this one. Oshibajo, the next president, 2023, or is it just a dream that will remain in the cuckoo land? But we understand that the Africans, some Africans, especially in Ghana, they started rejecting free food. They want jobs. And watch this video. The Ghanaian youth say they don't want food, we want jobs, and they return the politicians' right. Watch this one.
Oh! We need jobs.
Did you hear that? We need job. We need job. We don't want rice. We need job. We need job. The Ghanaian youths were returning and rejecting the rights of the politicians. But what happened to the Nigerian youth? Those of you who are non-Nigerians, we have a group of people. Once you graduate from a tertiary institution, you will be co-opted, or you will be. The law says you must participate in the National Youth Service Corps. Now, they went to visit Mr. President, and Mr. President gave them cows and rice. They did not. Watch this. Wow. We understand they were given 2 big cows and 20 bags of rice. Now you can see the Nigerian youth in their uniforms admiring the cows. Within the next few seconds, that was not a bad gesture on the part of Mr. President, is it?
Well, this is taxpayers' money. This money didn't come from the president's pocket.
But the president has some cows, didn't he?
But how many? The numbers of his cows in 6 years have not changed. The same
Mazi, is it cow you want or rice, or cow and rice? Cow and rice. I know about cow and gate, but this time we should change the song from cow and gate to cow and rice. Mazi, will you take the rice or the cow? Which one, or both of them?
Well, I would say that moral consciousness should be able to rule the mind of our young people across Africa. The most important thing now is to question the leaders about their future, not about what they can eat and excrete in the next 30 seconds.
Let me ask Mark, I know that you love Mr. President and you love your country indeed. Will you take cow or rice, or you just take both? Cow and rice, cow and rice.
Yeah, Dr. Shagun. Well, let's look at this. What is surrounding the situation? It's a festive period. Is the Barika de Salah, a Muslim festival where they give. That festival is more about giving. So, giving these young people that have come to visit a bag of rice, and this is not campaign time. The Ghana situation is a different thing. The Ghana situation is campaign, and they brought in rice. But this is a festive mood, and the youth went to visit their president, and he has gifted them with cow and rice and food, money. Well, I wouldn't say they shouldn't take because of the circumstances surrounding it. Thank you.
So when election comes and they give them rice, should they should not?
That is where that's where we now come to. We need to fight them. That shouldn't happen again.
Okay. I want you to tell the youth that they should not take during election time. Is it possible you tell them that?
Straight up. Don't take any rice. I mean, what is rice for your vote? So that time, no taking of rice, no taking of cow. Go and vote for who your conscience tells you to vote. And,
I always trust you that you will do the right thing. That's how we leave it today. I thank you for watching. I want to thank my colleagues, Mark in Milan, Italy. I want to thank the man in east part of England, Mazi Gosinazu, and of course our in-house researcher, Nat Iyakwo. I want to thank you very much for all your preparation. I want to thank those in the studio who make our life possible here, especially Anthony Jordan, who has been anchoring us, and we wish you all the best in your new endeavors. I'm sure you're going to rise to be a big millionaire in the nearest future. I want to thank all saints who have been piloting us and giving us this platform. Also to thank Hazel, who is the mother hand here. Of course, not forgetting our own executive producer, Alisa Shiode. Until when next you can see us, this is You Decide signing off. God bless Nigeria.